want to talk about your personal background with spirituality at all? You mentioned that that was a big part of growing up in Brazil.
Yeah, my grow up in Brazil is very unique. A little different from grow up in other countries. And interesting, the Western doesn't know much about the level of spirituality in Brazil. Most what you think about is that Brazil is a Catholic country. And but side of Catholicism, there is another very strong spiritual that is not on a level of religion, is a spiritual participation. And that is what we call Spiritism. Okay. And interesting, the roots of Spiritism is not in Brazil, it's in French. It's French
another country we think of as very Catholic.
Yeah, yes, and was in the 1800s when one of the main writers about Spiritism, that is called, the code name is Allan Kardec. It was not his real name because he was a very important person and he did not want to be published with his real name. He published what he called the Book of the Spirits. And it's very interesting because in my family I have two sides. My father's side was more toward Catholicism, my mother's side was more toward Spiritism, and my grandmother was a medium. That means I grew up with that mixed influence. That means I was able to have I was lucky, I feel, that I grew up in this mix because I was able to go to what we call Spiritist centers where there is working to help people with, but using the Spiritist background. Now there are books in English, there are a couple authors that are very good and they explain very well what Spiritism means. And but most people, when they hear about Spiritism, they hear about John the God, miracles, but Spiritism is much more beyond that. And it's a little bit closer to Hinduism, but there is a little difference. And Hinduism has more shamanic part, and Spiritism more what we would say mediunity part.
I'm not familiar with that term.
What mediunity means is the ability for you to connect. When in the old teachings is connect what they call spirits, or and you see that in other cultures, like Native Americans have very similar culture. But the reality is what we do is, what I believe is that when you connect is you are using your unconscious. You tap in your unconscious, you go beyond conscious. And then you can, when we talk about going beyond unconscious, is you are reaching then a big universe. That means you are reaching much more what we just see, touch, or hear.
Well, that sounds like a really wonderful approach for psychiatry if you're helping people heal the mind, the conscious and unconscious part, to have a full support system of a universal unconscious. That sounds like a really lovely way to approach it, that people aren't isolated in their unconsciouses.